Okay, so you guys have been sitting without audio since the start of stream. You know, good job me. Hey, hi. Hi Ajax, hi Fez. How are you guys today? How's it going? How's your Friday? It was a very long time. Yeah, no, I definitely thought that I pressed play. But then I didn't. And I'm not at my computer because we're doing stream from the floor, so I didn't have headphones on to hear if there was music playing. So that's super. That's great. Yeah. I'm alive. I'm here. We're gonna go ahead and just switch over. Because this is what we're doing today. Hi guys. Hello. Talk to you on my phone. I don't need these headphones on anymore. Is the music an okay level? It seems like it's an oh wow. Here, maybe I want my headphones on. Hearing myself talk is just not what I want to do. How did you solve a murder from your phone? Also, can you guys hear me? I'm moving the microphone closer just in case. Hello, I'm on the floor. Hi. We're replanting some plants today because I need to, and yeah. Hi. How is everybody? Sun levels are good? Cool. It's warm in here. I don't know that it was warm in here just like 5 minutes ago. To be fair, I did just have to like wrestle my dog because there's a bunch of like thistle bushes. Ajax, thank you for gifting that sub. Vez, I appreciate you. I should maybe have my headphones on to be able to hear alerts because I just saw that over there. Which is the only reason I knew that it happened. But yeah, no, we have a bunch of thistle bushes in the yard and he likes to just lay on them. And then he has a bunch of stickers all over him for the rest of the day. That's fun. So I was trying to get those off of him. But yeah. Hey, hi, how's it going? We already talked about that, but it's cracked. That should be okay though. Ignore any sort of mess behind me. I put in 0 effort to cleaning anything up. We are just how we are today. But yeah. Hey. Huh. That's, Huh. That's something. Alright. Well, good job, Fez. Congrats on being a detective. Yeah. I don't know. We're probably just gonna get started. I have pots and dirt over here. I haven't prepped the floor at all. It's a tile floor, though, so cleanup should relatively... I think I have more pots than I have plants, and I'm not sure why. We're gonna figure that out. Hi, Raito! How are you? But yeah. Planting things. I need to grab my gloves. 1 second. Not a good way for me in front of the camera. I go. Zoom. Look. Because we're handling a cactus. So, yeah. HelloFresh is going well for me. I am enjoying every single meal that I make. Not more, well, I mean more pots, plural. Hi, Haley! How are you? HelloFresh has been really, really helpful for me with, how bad my brain space has been because I am not wanting to leave the house. So the fact that the food is just here is great. Yeah. Okay. So, plants. For those of you who don't know, I really like plants. Yeah. It is definitely. I could probably take better care of my plants, but none of them have died yet. Oh no, sinus infections are the worst! Also, if you see me looking down here, it's because my phone is here bad, so in order to talk to you guys. Otherwise, I'd have to look over there and like squint really hard to be able to see the picture, which I feel is not the jam for us. So, starting with the big old pot here. We're gonna start with this cactus. I know very little about this cactus other than it was... One, it's very dusty. Ooh, I wish I could have tortellini. I've got some chili waiting for me in my fridge for after stream. I'm very excited. This was the like wedding shower gift at a friend's wedding. Well, for a friend's wedding. That was like 4 years ago. That friend is now divorced. This cactus hasn't been touched since I got it. So it's been in this pot for at least 4 years. I really needed to repot it like a couple years ago. You should really replant your plants like every 1 to 2 years generally. Even just like refreshing the soil if you don't put them in a new pot. You want to refresh the soil because you'll start losing out on nutrients and everything else that is in the old soil. So, sometimes I'll do custom mixes. I don't have the mental fortitude for that right now, so I just got a cactus potting mix, which is gonna work for everything that we have to plant today, because everything is all like succulents. Yeah, I just use a big pot. And by big pot, I mean, like, I don't know, a few quarts. I maybe shouldn't have put my gloves on first. Okay. So, ooh, that is dirt. That is definitely dirt. We're just gonna pour some of this to the pot. We're just gonna go about like halfway for right now. That's fair, AJ. Now, part of why I haven't replanted this cactus is that it is extra spiny. The spines come out to like, and I have these leather gloves. Hi, Cheeto! I do have a face. Yeah, hi, hello, it's my face. But I don't want to break the spines by, like, throwing it on the floor, but I need to get it out of the pot somehow. And I feel like it's a lot easier to be rougher with plants that don't want to attack you. I mean, it's definitely a consideration. What we're going... Oh, there are broken spines. I did it. I didn't want to do it, but I did it. So what we're going to do, try and like wiggle it out of the pot a bit. And this seems to be working more or less. Oop, oop, oop. Okay, so I don't know how well you guys can see, but you can kind of see the roots have started like circling back around themselves over here. This cactus is definitely a bit root bound, which you don't want for a plant. It's not great. There is so much dirt just going everywhere on my floor right now. So this definitely needed to be planted a hot second ago. But we're gonna do our best. Just try and loosen this up, loosen up the roots a bit. Like, the roots look healthy, so that's a good sign. We want to get as much of the dirt off of here as possible. I wish I could see through this. Maybe look a little. I'm concerned that there's maybe some rot happening. Yeah, those are fine. Okay, that's just... Alright, so... Cactus into the pot. We're gonna need to put more soil in here for sure. I'm gonna try and pick off some... Like, there was some clover in here that just, like, grew in the old pot. That I just sort of let do its thing. Also, the camera is currently attached to the foot of my bed. And it's looking like Bolt is considering popping up on the bed. So if the camera moves, I'm sorry. I have not tried just talking sweet. So we need more dirt in here for sure. My biggest concern, like, with just literally any repot, not even just, is, like, root shock is a thing. Just like moving for people, moving for plants is not the happiest endeavor. Sorry, Ajax. It can stress them right the fuck out, and then even, like, a healthy plant that you've had for 4 years that would probably be doing better, but, like, isn't doing bad, just kick the bucket. You can generally avoid that by not upping the size of the pot too much. Like, this was maybe 2-inch of an increase in diameter. I'm not gonna water this for a day or two, just because that can shock the roots too. I am sorry that thunderstorms are gonna hit and be shitty for you, but that means that I might get thunderstorms, which actually help me sleep better. Which I desperately need. Just need to keep filling this with dirt, and I feel like... No riots! I feel like I'm going to need more soil than I got. Feel like root shock is just basically, when the plant gets moved from one location to another, this is off center. Why did I plant this up? Little bit. Right, like that. No riots. Not allowed. Nice and seated in there. But basically, it's like shock to anything, right? Like a sudden change will just make them freak the fuck out. And the roots will just stop doing what they're supposed to do, which is bring nutrients to the plant. And when that happens, obviously the plant dies. There's a lot of dirt up around the spines, but I'm not too worried about that right now. I'm just trying to make sure that this guy is secure. Yeah, especially right now, because I'm replanting some that are older. They haven't necessarily been in the best soil for the past couple years. Off the cactus. The sudden intake of nutrients. More or less, yeah, Cheeto. Sudden intake. A lot for them. They're very wiggly. I don't know if I should be concerned about that. There is so much soil on my floor. I'm probably just gonna toss the old soil from this. Though it looks like it was well blended. Double checking no signs of like pests or disease like that I'm watching out for with the cactus. But there's literally nothing. Fine. We're just gonna make a little pile over here that I'm just gonna worry about later. All good, Cheeto. See you later. Okay. For right now, we're gonna call our little cactus friend. Hi, Boaster! Cactus is repotted. It should, theoretically, have room to grow now, which is great. Because it's been about the same size since I got it. I don't actually know how old this cactus is. It's possible that it's, like, there's some browning on it. Again, I don't know if you guys can see. But there's some browning towards the bottom, which can indicate that it's a cactus. But it could also just have browned because it was kept in mediocre conditions for a while. So who knows? My favorite thing about this cactus, this one spine that just tries to loop back. The cactus is also definitely. We're gonna try and fix that a little. Me floor dirt. There we go. This is just all overspill that I was putting in. Okay, that should be better. But yeah, nope, we are definitely. Trying to keep things upright is difficult. Okay. Alright. We're gonna call that good enough. It's cactus. From my understanding, this cactus should be able to get to, like, it should be able to be, like, a tall boy. Like, be able to grow this. So I'm hopeful that, one, it's not dead. Which I don't think it is. Like, it's still green. Like, there is still green in there. But also, if it's older, it's not gonna grow as much either. But putting it in the larger pot may lead to it popping out some little baby cactuses. I don't know. We're gonna find out. We're gonna see what happens. But for now, cactus goes over here. I'm gonna do that guy last, I think. That's our biggest pot, which I definitely am not gonna have enough dirt for. Cactus update vid in a while, yeah. We'll keep up with the progress of the plants. So I have a problem. I have really terrible spatial awareness. So I looked at these bags of soil and I was just like, oh yeah, why wouldn't these be enough? It's barely any plants, but then I have a freaking pot. Well, no, this pot really is the kicker. I've got this guy that I need to fill. And I didn't really think that through. Because the pots are large, yeah. I've got this. Which, this is, I think it's pronounced Echeveria. I forget the exact variation of it. But I got this as a going away present when I moved to Milwaukee. And it was just like one plant. And with Echeveria, how they work is if they don't have enough sun or light or nutrients or whatever else, they will just grow and grow and grow until they fall over and can replant themselves in a new location, which is what this guy is. But it also had babies at its base. So I've got 2 little babies along with the main body here. And it just needs to be replanted into a larger pot. I think I'm gonna keep these 3 together, which is why I got this big guy. But I'm gonna need more soil. Which I also have a bit of Thai basil that I'm propagating that just started rooting that I need soil for, so I needed to go to the store anyways. So maybe what we do today, I have an aloe that I need to replant for Chris's mom that's going into a smaller pot. That should be fine. And then I have a few aloes of my own that need to be trimmed back and repotted. Those are going in larger pots. I think what we maybe do today is focus on those, and then we maybe come back next week and worry about this guy and the Thai basil that because that one needs different potting soil that I haven't gotten. So yeah. Bucket test camera! So I've got this little Thai basil that's in an old vitamin bottle. Let me see if I can. So it's got some growing. Got some roots growing right now. That honestly are probably long enough to replant. I could eat it. It is edible. Yeah. This basil came with an order of pho that I got, and I only used like a portion of the leaves, so I was just like, screw it. I'm gonna make myself a plant. Why not? And then I'm just gonna have endless Thai basil, which is great. I'm all about it. Make free plants when you can, chat. Okay, so I think the one that we're gonna do next is the little guy. This is just a little aloe. Again, I'm not sure of the variation. Chris's mom was gifted for some holiday, maybe her birthday, I don't remember. But this pot, like, is too small to even water it. So, we're gonna put it in a properly sized pot so that it can take care of a bit better. Got a little dead leaf here that we're gonna pull off, and yeah. So, dirt in the pot, round 2. Gonna get that in there, get that all settled. Then I want to be gentle with the little guy. Come on. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. Come on. Please. I don't really want to pull. Is this? Oh. This is maybe more interesting than I thought it was gonna be. So this guy wasn't planted in dirt. Well, there's a little bit of dirt. It is very root bound. It is very, very root bound. So again, you can see the roots are sort of just circling around here, and grouping back up. I'm gonna remove this moss. I don't even know if it's... Hi, Bjark. It is not poop. It is a plant. This poor guy is in way better condition than I would have expected from the condition that it is in. This is going to grow incredibly fast now that it's being replanted. You can see this is the pot that was inside of the pot that it was in. So hey there, little guy. This is the difference in pot size. It might be a little bit overwhelming for this guy, but aloes are generally pretty hardy and resilient. But yeah, tiny pot versus not tiny pot. This tiny pot is actually a perfect size for me to replant my basil into until it's a little bit more stable. But that's besides the point. There's just a bunch of moss at the bottom of this. Yeah, okay. Interesting. I'm glad that I grabbed this guy to work with it a bit. Try and just knock out as much of the dirt as we can. Try and get those roots loosened a little. That'll give it a better chance of surviving once it's in the bigger pot. Yeah, like, look at how much root we have here. That was just crammed into that tiny pot. That's ridiculous. Poor little baby. This poor little plant baby. I'm spanking the plant. Well, I'm spanking the dirt. The plant didn't do it. This is just genuinely the gentlest way to try and get the dirt to break up a bit. Because I don't want to try and manipulate these myself. The dirt was really, really dry. So the roots are a little bit dry. We're gonna not water it immediately, though, once it's hot. At most, we might, like, water. Yeah, we've got so much root here. So, like, you can see, I don't know if you can actually. You can kind of see, like, the roots extend past where this pot ended, right? There was not enough room for this little guy at all. So, it should be a lot happier and healthier in its new home. We're no longer spanking it, we're sort of like pecking like a bird. Okay. I think got all the dirt out. More or less. We've got the roots loose. The roots look healthy, which is good. Now we're just going to get in here. Where those roots are a lot more dirt. Gonna need a lot more dirt in here. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna make a little hole for the roots. Then we're just gonna give this guy some dirt under it. sort of just plopped to the side. It's fine. We're gonna fix this. The nice thing, like, if anybody wants to get into plants, check out any sort of succulent. Aloe are honestly some of the hardiest plants you can get. They are very, very, very difficult to kill. I'll tell you guys a story of my aloe plants. Once. Hi, Ivy! Once we're on to my aloe plant. This little guy's a little covered. Fix it. Fine. Just making sure that it's fully covered. I need, like, an old toothbrush or something. The dirt out from between things. Do. Okay. Cool. So, this little guy has been replanted into its new home, where it should be happy and healthy and also grow real quick. Now that it's got more room to expand and grow its roots out and everything, trying to shake a little dirt off of the plant, but all I'm doing is shaking more dirt onto the plant. It's not what I want. But now that it's got room for its roots and should be super happy. Okay. I'll take care of some cleanup on this a little bit later, probably. Alright, now, more dirt to shove off to the side. Goodbye, dirt. Okay, so what we've got, a couple, and by a couple, I mean 5 very neglected aloe plants. So, these aloe plants all came from one aloe plant, which I think was this one. This was just in my house in Milwaukee when I moved up there. The previous owners had just left the plant there. It just fucked off. It hadn't been watered in months. It was looking really rough. And I was like, okay, well, I'll try and revive it. Worst case, it doesn't survive. Best case, I have an aloe plant. It survived, and it pops out new plants constantly. Like, I've gotten probably 10 new ivy, or not ivies, 10 new aloes just from this one plant. I needed to stop popping them out. I don't know what to do with any more aloe. As it is, I'm going to have multiple that I gotta figure out what to do with. They gotta go somewhere. But for now. So with this one, I had previously put some pebbles in the bottom, just for the sake of keeping the dirt aerated. This guy is very root bound. Again, I am a terrible plant mom. And need to replant my plants more often. But it's fine because this guy's getting a much, 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 much bigger home. So, I don't know if I'm gonna plant both of these together. We're gonna see what their root system looks like once we've got this all untangled. Because we've got this little guy and the bigger guy. I don't know if they share roots or what's going on here. Checking out the roots, they all look healthy, which so it looks like little one on its own. So that's great. We had a few big roots pop off. Oh, actually, this isn't a root. So this is basically. I should really plant it in humus pods, yeah. This is another plant that it's trying to grow. It's trying to grow yet another aloe. It'll keep growing them forever and ever and ever. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pull off these old dead leaves. Not providing anything to the plant anymore. Peel them off because aloes just sort of grow in layers. Like if you've ever had like scallion, if you see how those grow, we're basically in the same situation. So that is one aloe done. This little guy has a couple of dead leaves to pull off. Nothing too. But yeah, these plants can honestly live with water for like without water for months. Months and months and months. Like this is a babu plant. This is a babu plant. We've got so many babu plants. I don't know what to do with this one. I don't know if I'm gonna replant. Maybe. I don't have enough pots. I don't have enough dirt, and I don't have enough pots. Life is a struggle. So that guy's going over there. We have so much dirt. So much piled up here. And then we've got 3 in this pot, so we're gonna get the... I can find dirt outside. The dirt that is outside my house is pretty much just clay. If we're being honest. There is very little, like, good dirt in the land outside of my house. Alright. I don't know if you guys can hear... Hi, Mommy Queen! I don't know if you guys can hear dirt falling off of these, but it's very, very sandy. And that is because aloes need a lot of respiration. Okay, so we got this little guy, which looks healthy. Off this dead leaf. I don't know what just fell, but it scared the shit out of me. Something just fell, like, off of my fridge. Oh, it's my toothbrush. Toothbrush, why did you fall? Why? What are you doing? It's now stuck between the cabinet and the fridge. Alright, sure. Ghosts. I'm doing alright. I've been in a difficult headspace past week. Chris did it. Chris is the ghost. He pulled these apart. Okay. Have any problematic here? It doesn't look. But yeah, I have not been in the best headspace the past. But we're here now, and we're alive, and hi, Littlefoot! Alright, that is good. And then we've got this last big guy that really, really, really wanted to spread out its roots. It is trying to grow another plant. That's what this big guy is here. Just trying to branch off to another plant. We're gonna remove dead leaves, like with all the rest of them. Okay. Crispy at the end. We're gonna pull off the crispy ends. Goodbye, crispy ends. Alright. Cool. So, now we replant these. An anti-riot is fine. I need to decide what I'm doing. Because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 plants. I have 2 more big pots. No riots. No. Not allowed. How do I do this, chat? Because I don't... Like, this is big enough that I'd honestly rather just have the one in here. Feel like I should do 1 aloe, 2 pot. I could always replant the small guys into the smaller pots that they were already in, and just let those expand again. And then the big pots will be for the 2 larger plants, which might be the way to go. It seems potentially smart. We're gonna do that, I think. So the rest of this dirt is going in here. We gotta open up another bag. Okay. So. Room for the roots. There are a lot. I probably should have only filled this like halfway and then put the plant in. Tried to put the dirt around the plant rather than trying to fit the plant into the dirt, but this is fine. Our plant is off-centered. Okay. Really rushed to clear out the dirt that I get into the plants. All right. There we go. This is a much better sized pot for this. Like, you can see with aloe, you want a pot that's about as wide as it is tall. And the pot that it was in definitely was not that. So this should give it plenty of room. It can grow a little bit. It can expand. It can live the best planty life. My biggest issue with this current repot is that I don't really have anywhere to put these plants. Like, I haven't set up a shelf or anything for plants. And I had these on a windowsill, but that windowsill is definitely too small for these pots. But that is a problem for future me. Yep. Right now, we're just gonna keep moving on. Okay. So, next aloe into the pot. For the next round of repotting, I might, like I was talking about earlier, you can just do custom like blends for the soil. So, so rather than buying bags of soil, we might just mix up some custom blends. That down more for these roots. And I'm gonna hold this guy here, and we're getting some scoops of dirt. The thing that I like too about aloe, I am just the thing that I like about aloe is that you can manhandle these guys. I can just shove this around and manipulate it and whatever I want, and it's gonna take it. It's gonna be fine. I am also almost entirely out of problem for replanting. Okay, we're just trying to get enough dirt under this. Chat, always, always, always double check quantity, what you have and what you need. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of plants that need to be repotted that you don't have the dirt for. Do. Think that should be fine. Should be sturdy enough. Okay. Aloe number 2. He's a little bit more wiggly, but it's fine. You probably are hearing my air conditioner in the background when I talk. You can't hear it normally because my noise gate cuts it out, but when I talk, my noise gate obviously deactivating because I'm talking. Alright. I'm out of pots. And I'm almost out of soil. I'm not almost out. So we're gonna reuse old pots that the aloes were in. I'm not really concerned about cleaning them out because there's no signs of pests or anything. There wasn't any sign of disease. You like my polar robot? So they should be fine. That's something that I feel like I've been really lucky with, is that I hear stories all the time from people about, like, just constant pest infestations for their plants, and I'm just like, what do you that have all of these bugs in the house? Like, for outdoor plants, sure, like, you can't really control what happens. But, like, for houseplants, I don't understand how people are just, like, repeatedly getting infestations of things. Alright. Baby aloe number 1 planted. Dirt off of it. Not really the ideal size pot for it. It's already a little bit too big for this guy, but that's fine. should still grow okay until I get larger pots for. I mean, it was growing alongside like 2 other plants. I feel like I definitely still need to plant. I guess that's fair, Littlefoot. Yeah, I don't want to put these, but I have some pots outside that I can bring in. What do we think, chat? Do we try and plant this? This is just another baby. Probably break it off right there. And if we plant this, it'll maybe grow. I'm also always really cautious whenever I bring new plants in. Like, I quarantine them in an entirely separate room, especially if there's any sign of, like, anything. I have a Marble Queen pothos that's hanging up there right now that I bought from a store that, like, very clearly had brought, like, some sort of gnats into the house. And I kept it on an entirely separate floor, not even just an entirely separate room from all the rest of my plants. I don't really need another aloe. Like, there's not a point in me planting it. Like, I need a place to give away the millions of aloes that I have. Okay. These guys' roots are huge. Most plants don't mind being a tiny bit root bound. It's just not great for their long-term health. Especially their growth. You want to grow. Like, these aloes have a ton of growth. Larger than they currently are. But the space that they have for their roots to grow will determine a lot of, like, what they grow to. And make sure that this is well secured in here. Come on, dirt. Come out. Smack the plant around a little bit till the dirt comes out of it. It's fine. Alright. Got this little guy planted. But the dirt's gonna compress as this sits. I'm realistically gonna have to top off all of these after the first couple of waterings. Because the dirt's gonna settle. This is, like, I wish that I could show you guys. I don't think it's... I can't pick it up now because it's all dirt. But there is a distinct color difference. Dirt that was in the pots and dirt that I'm putting into the pots. And that's also a really good indicator that you need to repot the plants, because there's just everything's been sucked out of the dirt that was in there. Give me 2 seconds while I go and grab. I have hiccup. Grab a pot from outside, and then I will be right back. Alright. Got a pot. No riots. No crab riots. Have pot. It is pot. I'm just double checking but I'm hiding it doesn't or so. Not seeing a lesson. I realistically should go through the effort of sanitizing this, but if I'm being 100% honest, if this aloe doesn't make it, I'm not going to be overly heartbroken. Like, my plants dying makes me sad in general, but like, with this replant having been done, I'm gonna have new aloe in like 2 weeks. Waterboard it? Little aloe plant, you get. Alright. Guys, secure. Hi, puppy lover! How are you on this Friday? I just want a bit more dirt. And then we're going to take a few scoops by hand, and this one should be a good go. Giant mess. Fine, though. Don't worry. There's already dirt all over my floor. Alright. Last little aloe has been planted. Try and get some dirt out. Okay. So, I still have Echeveria that I need to plant. I don't, that's not going to fill that pot. The amount of dirt that I have is nowhere near enough. If I take this little handful here. Well, let's see. Yeah, it's not. I could maybe make it work. And then I would have to like replant it again once I have more dirt. But it doesn't feel worth it. Cause like this is as full as this gets with the dirt that I currently have. And this guy. Deserves better. um in spite of like how poorly I've taken, this is my favorite plant. Um that I have, maybe in general. I'm getting a tattoo while I'm in San Diego for TwitchCon, and I'm including this in the sign for the tattoo. Not this specifically one, but this plant. Um because I love them. Um it is not a palm tree, no. Okay, so I guess I'll just leave this for next. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this pot of dirt that I now have. That's fine. I still don't know what I'm doing with all the plants that I've repotted, to be honest. Because again, I don't have the space for them. I need to make a trip to my storage unit like this weekend. And oh, did you guys actually see Doggo? He's now hopping up on the bed, so any movement of the camera is 100% him. He is now the cameraman. What was I saying? I was saying something. Saying something about something. Oh, I need to take a trip to my storage unit this weekend and get the shelf that I use for plants, because then I can just put these all. I don't know where I'm going from here. There is one more thing that I wanted to check on. So give me 2 seconds. There's a plant somewhere else in this house that I want to see if it's salvageable. It looks like it's probably dead, but we're gonna see what we can do. So this plant is super crispy, as you guys can see here. It was another. I don't understand people giving out plants as like favors at like bridal showers and stuff. Because most people don't have the knowledge to take care of the plants that are being given. And a lot of times, the plants that they're giving out are cheap, right? They're buying them in bulk. And so, in a lot of those instances, the plants weren't even taken care of well prior to being given as a gift. This guy is literally just crumbling apart. Doesn't even have a root system that I can see. Like if it has a root system, then we can see maybe, Okay. You know what we're doing with this one? Because it looks like it has. Trying to get to them without just completely destroying the last couple. What I think we're gonna do with this one is we had the stupid tiny pot from that other aloe. I think that tiny pot is actually proper size for. Well, we try and revive it a bit. But man, this does not have much to work with. Which is a shame. Like, this is another Echeveria. So it's like my other ones that I have that I need to. Such bad. There are some small roots. So we're gonna see what happens. Where did the go? We're just gonna scoop some of the dirt from our big pot. I don't want it super compacted, but a little compaction isn't bad. Alright. Godspeed, little guy. See what we can do for you. I don't have much hope, but you know. Sometimes plants surprise you. Sometimes they just bounce back from situations that they should not have bounced back from. Honestly, I wouldn't be entirely opposed to, like, just soaking these roots in water. Or just, like, the moss that this was in before. Not this, but that this tiny pot was in. That might get more of a change. Okay. We're gonna see what happens. Pretty sure that this guy. I'm dead though. I think it was a combo of it not being properly watered. It was in way too big of a pot for its root. Like, it didn't even really have an established root system. This thing was just, it was set up for failure. Because even if we dump out the rest of this dirt, right, there's no sign of roots that previously. There's just nothing. So we'll see with that. Yeah. I think that's maybe all I've got today. I didn't really plan anything else. I'm sort of in a shitty headspace still. Yeah. That's what I've got for you guys. Yeah. I don't know where to go from here. So, we're maybe gonna call it. I'll probably be back on Monday, depending on how I'm feeling. I'm sorry this was such a short one. But yeah, that's That stream, ta-da! I'm all the way. I have to go to my computer to like switch it to the buy screen. So give me a second. All right, guys. I love all of you. You're wonderful. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming and hanging out while I just like poured a bunch of dirt into pots and made plants do things. Um, like I said, I'll probably be back Monday. I'll keep you all updated in the Discord. On that. And yeah, cool. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day, evening, night, whatever time it is. I'll see you all when I see you. Love you. Bye.